Welcome back to our glass studio, live from Interpark in between halls 7 and 9. Come and join us for our talks, or do follow us online. We are in the middle of our program today. It's day 6 of Interpark, and we will now look at one of the hot topics once more. It's circularity. And circularity might also be very important when looking at leadership. I am now joined by Winfried Mühling, Director of Marketing and Communications at Carton. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my very pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome. We are very happy to have you here. I'm guessing you've been to Interpark before. How does it feel to be back?
Oh, I guess something was missing when you're sitting in front of your monitor for many, many years now. So it's great to be back, and I think the slogan "Welcome Home," I think no better slogan than "Welcome Home" looking at Interpark this year.
So many people have told us that it's very fitting and that they do feel like coming home here.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it is, of course, the exhibition for packaging material and for packaging machinery. And may I say, I think if you want to meet, if you want to feel, smell packaging, that's the place to be.
Definitely. Packaging material is also already a good way to introduce what you're doing and the packaging material you are most passionate about. It's Carton. Tell us, have you already seen some great innovations or something concerning Carton here at the fair?
Well, I think the fair is full of innovations when it comes to carton material. So if you go to the booths of our members, whether it would be Westrock, Grapefruit Packaging, or graphic packaging, or if you would look into Meyer Mellenhof, they are all here to present their solutions. Also, the big carton board producers, Stora and Metso, also show their innovations, show their different barrier boards that really make the future, define the future of carton packaging.
Most consumers, I mean, we do have carton packaging in our hands every day, I guess. Also, e-commerce obviously is a big topic right now. Tell us something about Carton. What is it that you do exactly, and how do you fall into the packaging industry?
Oh, yeah, good. Very happy to talk about Carton. So Carton is the association representing the carton board and folding carton producers. So we are promoting the use and the benefits of carton board. And how do I come into a carton board? I think I have been working in the packaging industry for more than 30 years in total. And out of the 30 years, 25 years, I was actively selling carton board. And I think that is when you really get in touch with the material, when you really get in sync with the material, and that is a very good thing to feel.
What is the best thing about carton packaging? Why is it a good material?
Well, I think it goes to the topic of our discussion here. Yeah, so it's about the circularity leadership. Yeah, and I think that is what we claim for ourselves. Everybody is talking about circularity. We claim for ourselves that we are taking a leading position in the discussion on circularity. It goes all the way back to the raw materials, where we start from renewable raw materials, taking also good care with sustainable forest management, then looking into the use of material, and then of course also looking into the end of life of material. So all the recycling part of packaging material plays a very important role, and we are proud that we are influencing each part of this of the life cycle of carton board. And I think as an industry we are doing a very good job here.
Fiber-based packagings, and Carton obviously does fall into this, are very well prominent and relevant, liked by consumers. I guess that's what a lot of surveys have found. You also do customer surveys. Can you tell us a bit about why people like this material and what your survey found out?
Yeah, so we did a survey. We do this regularly, yeah, and I think that is when the value of a survey comes, that you can also make the on-time developments. Yeah, so we did our last survey in November last year, and that was a survey focusing first on how do consumers feel at the end of the pandemic. what is moving them, what is keeping them up at night. And one of the things that we found out that 2022 will be known as the year of inflation, it will be known as the year of warfare, and it will be known as the year of climate change. So climate change always plays a role, no matter how big other problems there were. And then, of course, we were looking on the packaging side, also looking at when it comes to packaging, what are the sentiments here? And maybe one key figure that I want to point out that was a striking figure. When I looked at the results of the survey, it was close to 50% of consumers in Europe would change their brand based on the choice of packaging material. Mm-hmm. That is a high figure.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so 50% would have changed in the past 12 months their well-known brand, their chosen brand, because of the packaging material. And I think that is a key figure that we should all be in mind, the importance of packaging when it comes to build a brand, when it comes to build loyalty. That is not to underestimate. We can only stress it as part of the results of the study. And of course, also what it showed, it was the high trust that people have in carton board. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when we asked a question, how credible is the recycling story for different packaging materials, we saw that carton board came out as a number 1 position, followed by glass, and as a number 3 position was corrugated carton board. So there is a very high trust and belief in carton board as a packaging material.
So can you say that those 50% who would switch the brand because of packaging would also then choose one which is using carton as packaging material? Is that something that the survey found as well?
I mean, what we found in the survey in different shades, definitely there's a very strong preference for carton board material. We also had one question in that we always put at the very end of the questionnaire that would do the like, dislike. And this year we had a preference of 85% of carton board versus 15% of plastics. That was an increase by 4% compared to the last study 3 years ago. Wow. And from 81 to 85%, that is already in this magnitude where we move here, a very, very big move.
I was going to ask if there was a change that you perceive, but if it's 4% more now trusting carton packaging, that's quite something, isn't it?
That's quite something. I think that shows the sentiment and also the increasing awareness of consumers. Also, another question that we ask, what are the important packaging features? Looking at the packaging, normally you would get the things like protection. All these things also came up quite high, but the top 2 ones, where the number 1 was recyclability. So consumers want to understand, what do I do with my packaging material end of life? They want to have an easy choice to decide, does it go here or does it go there? And the second one, which was a bit of a surprise, was renewable raw materials. So also here, consumers really are very clear what they want. They are looking into renewable raw materials as their preferred choice.
So carton ticks all the boxes for them. That's very nice.
I may proudly say yes.
Wonderful. You also did another, not survey, but study. You also look at the carbon footprint of carton from now and then, and take a look at that. Maybe you can tell us something about the findings out of that study. We also have some charts that we can look at.
Yeah, so that is, of course, what we also do every 3 years. Every 3 years we go out and make an extensive study. So the results that you see here will include 60 reporting production sites. Yeah, so we start with the pulp producers, go to the carton board producers, and then end up with the folding carton producers. And the results, 3 key figures I want to point out. A 24% reduction of carbon emissions from 2018 to 2021. Within a 3 years period, 24% reduction, a very impressive figure. The absolute figures I would like the audience to remember here. It is 249 kilograms CO2 equivalent cradle to grave, and it's 148 kilograms CO2 equivalent cradle to gate. The second one, the 148 one, that is one that we are especially focusing on. That is a figure that we can basically directly impact. That is a figure that starts with a pulp producer and basically ends at the gate of the folding carton producer. And that is what our industry can directly influence and impact, and 148 is the result where we are standing today. And may I say, we are very proud on this result.
You already mentioned recyclability as a key theme also for consumers when it comes to packaging material and cardboard. We have another trend right now, which is reuse. Is that also something, how does this play together with carton? Is that an option, or would you say that recycling is still the preferred option for your material?
I think the best, of course, is if you have the option of both. Yeah, so if you look at a corrugated carton board that is reused several times, yeah. But if I now look at the folding box, we are proud to say that we are a single-use package, as long as we can secure the recyclability at the long end. But I think finally, as a European economy, we do well if we include and not exclude. Yeah, so I think what as Pro Carton, we see these two things happening in a complementary way. We see the use of both reusable material and recyclable material. When we talk about the recycling material, then of course we have to secure the recyclability of the material. That is really recyclable, and that we can really make sure that things will also be recycled. And that is with a recycling rate of 82% that we have today. What we can proudly say, that 82% recycling rate, that is one of the highest rates for any packaging material substrate, and 82% recycling rate, and we have the target of raising the bar even higher and moving to a 90% by 2030. That is where the industry is committed to, and that is where each and any one of our members is also working closely towards.
Those are quite ambitious goals. When it comes to recycling, obviously we look at the potential end of life and giving it a new life for the packaging material. But you do have to think about these things and possibilities already at the beginning, at the design stage. And you told me about a project which is called Forever Green and looks at design for recycling. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, that's, I think Forever Green is one of the organizations that I really see working and tackling the issue at the right spot. I think the challenge that we have in front of us when it comes for circularity in the packaging arena, it is a challenge so big that the one company or one industry alone cannot solve it. You need to look at a cross-industry approach, and Forever Green is exactly doing this. Yeah, so Forever Green is basically combining, in the meantime, more than 100 players from across the entire value chain and looking into design stage and also including the recycling stage at the very end of life. So we will have more than 100 people who are working together in Forever Green in order to really tackle the issue. And that is, of course, when questions will be answered. What materials do I bring in at the beginning stage in order not to create a problem at the recycling stage? And that is what is done very well with Forever Green. So I truly recommend to have a look at Forever Green website, or of course at the Pro Carton website. You find lots of information on the activities there.
It does sometimes feel like design choices can either, well, can bring recyclability to life, or that it dies with the design. So I think that's a very important topic to think about and find solutions for.
No doubt, yeah, and I think one of the outcomes of Forever Green was the design for recycling guideline that came out. Yeah, so that is a guideline that designers, that end users can use in the early stage, where it's very clearly defined what raw materials to use and what raw materials not to use in order to minimize the environmental impact. And I think that's what it's all about. Yeah, it's really minimizing the environmental impact end of life and securing things keep in circle.
Pro Carton also is distributing awards, multiple of those. For example, a student award as well. How does design come into play here? And can you tell us a bit more about the awards you're giving out and why they are so important?
Yeah, good. The awards, I think we distinguish 3 different awards. So the first would be the European Carton Excellence Award, an award we do together with ECMA, the organization of the folding carton industry. And this award, we basically highlight the creativity and the functionality of carton board. We stress the creativity of the designers, and we stress the functionality of carton board solutions. And we are still in the registration phase. So, and I may use the opportunity to ask everybody in the entire value chain. We still have 2 more weeks that you can put in your entries. Put in your entries for the European Carton Excellence Award 23. And we will then have in September in Seville, this year in Seville, we will have the big awards night where we will then announce the award winners. Another important award scene is, of course, our student awards. Yeah, so looking at the student awards and the importance of the student awards, it's of course also to first work closely with the students and also show our industries, and a very attractive industry also for startups, for newcomers, for coming to the industry. Yeah. So I can also here, I have been working in this industry for 30 years, and you see the result of 30 years of packaging sitting in front of you, and it's a great industry to work in. There's nothing better than, especially I have been working in sales for all my career, the satisfaction you get as a salesman when you finally see your package on the shelf, and when you finally see people choosing your package. That is fantastic. This is a fantastic experience I don't want to miss, and that is what you get when you're working in packaging.
I think we can really see how much you love this subject and carton packaging. It's very nice. Obviously, the industry, all industries, but I'm guessing also the carton packaging industry are facing some dynamic times. In German, Fachkräftemangel is one of the big issues. Tell me, how is the industry tackling this problem? How are you motivating young people to come and work in the companies? How can maybe also the student award help with that? And how does Interpack maybe help with this? Is this an opportunity to kind of recruit new talents?
I think if people are here from the universities, they can of course see the colorful and bright world of packaging. I think that is where you can experience your work environment when you come to a fair like Interpack. But also, you mentioned the student awards. Yeah, that's of course one way. We are in contact here with more than 160 universities for the Pro Carton Young Designer Awards. We have another 50, 60 universities when it comes for the Pro Carton Student Video Award. So in total, we have close to 200 universities in Europe that we are in contact with. And then we get entries of several students from these universities. So taking this multiplying effect, I hope we will have a positive impact on more than 1,000 students every year in very close contact with our industry. And I think that is the important thing. You know, when I started, or before I started to move into packaging, packaging was not my first choice. When you're at the end of the final exams of the university life, maybe a Nestle, maybe a Procter & Gamble, a Unilever, fast-moving consumer goods, that all sounds much more exciting. But I can truly say that working in packaging, you are in contact with exactly these people. Yeah, so it's not that you are sitting in your own little packaging world. No, you are really in contact with the outside world. In the outside world, it is whatever you see here in the halls, and there are, I don't know, 17 halls here in Düsseldorf. Yeah, so many of these halls, and all filled with packaging-related topics. Yeah, very exciting to come here and really get a smell, get a taste, in the flavor of the industry.
So a lot to explore and get your hands on and
Absolutely.
Find new places. Looking into the future, what would you wish for carton packaging to change, to become? How would the perfect world for carton packaging look like?
Good. I think first, all the discussion on packaging in general. Yeah. So I think whether it is now plastic packaging or whether it is carton packaging, we believe that packaging adds a value to the final product, that packaging adds a value also to consumers. Now the ideal world for carton, it will not be only carton on the shelves. Yeah, so there must be also other material on the shelf. But wherever we can use carton material, always having in our mind, it is a renewable a source of raw materials that we are using, and a material that is where the collection and recycling process works out very well. And I think we still need to solve a few things on the recycling side. That there are still open points to be touched, but then please let us do it. Yeah? Let us touch it, let us solve it, and let's move forward in order to make sure that we further raise the bar and improve the recyclability of cardboard material.
Our fingers are crossed that we get there. Mr. Mühling, thank you so much for stopping by and talking to us, giving us these insights. I have to say I learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here.